Women who went from a low sex drive to a high sex drive. What happened? I hit my 40s and oh my god. Looking at my wife, any minute now. I'm looking at this guy's wife also. LOL, thanks for the gold. It's my first. I also choose this guy's wife. Edit, I get it, I left a word out. My father-in-law warned me years in advance, and holy frijoles, I felt like I needed to install bed rails just so I'd have something to hold on to. A woman in her 40s is, active. I like how your father-in-law is basically saying, dude, my girl is going to F like her mom. You better buckle up. Honestly paused when I read his comment as well. Lol. Username checks out? After being a lurker for years, I got goaded into making an account. I had refrained for so long because, as I so often touted, the only reason you need an account is to get stuck in pointless arguments with 14-year-olds, so, obviously, I had to pick a name befitting such tasks. A little self-aware irony never hurts, although now thanks to this post I guess it could be a suave cheeky compliment for the ladies. But what fresh hell is it, when a man's libido drops around the same time as the women's skyrockets? That, my friend, is nature laughing her ass off at us. Laughs in lesbian. Username checks out. Hormonal changes. Estrogen drops and natural testosterone takes its hold. That, and if a woman has kids in her 20s 30s, the kids are usually less work when she's in her 40s, so she probably has more energy to want to have sex. Wait. 40s? My drive shot way up when I hit my 30s. I'm almost 35 and, well, things are really good. If it gets better, I'm no longer sad to keep aging. Right? I'm 38. Last 2 years there's a noticeable increase. I kind of hope it plateaus. Just recently I got goddamn woman, haven't you had enough today? You need a friend to help bleed off some of this energy. You're killing me. Turning me into a husk. I think he is joking, but if it gets much worse, he may not be. Smiley face. Would you please talk to my wife? I sure can. Does she want to be my friend? Smirking face, smiley face. Ah, a cougar. Ah, a cougar. My Red Dead Redemption playthrough in a nutshell. Bang bang bang, ruined cougar. Oh god, it gets worse? This gives me hope for my wife. I went through some sort of second puberty. My sex drive isn't super high, but had no real interest in sex until I was 24-ish. Oh hey, another late bloomer. I thought I was asexual or something until 20-ish, just didn't really like to think about it. Then one day, happening across some saucy online content, something just snapped. I wasn't a very healthy teen, and started getting more fit once I moved out of my parents' house around that time, so that may have had something to do with it too. Or that I'm just not super in touch with my body in general. Kind of was the same for me, started at 24. Although that's also when I got my thyroid hormones in check, but it started even before my treatment. Never knew what everyone was talking about, why'd you ever need sex? Man, I was so wrong. I could do it 24/7 now. I accidentally triggered a hypomanic episode which led to hypersexuality. And then I got diagnosed with bipolar 2 womp womp. The worst part was my husband had gotten used to my lower sex drive and wasn't necessarily pleased with me trying to jump on his dick 24/7. Hypomanic hypersexuality sucks. I accidentally triggered a hypomanic episode. What is this? You can think of hypomania as something in between a full manic episode and a normal elevated mood. To illustrate, a manic episode can result in things like taking an impromptu road trip across 6 states without stopping to sleep or stabbing your best friend. A hypomanic episode might be shopping spree that you really can't afford, or shoplifting when that's not something you would typically do, and a normal elevated mood would be having a spontaneous dance party in the middle of the grocery store. Obviously these are just examples and not something everyone who has these experiences does, but they are real examples from people I've known personally. Here is an interesting twist to this: bipolar type 2, diagnosed 10 years ago. Serious head injury 7 years ago. No cycles since. Last senior consultant I saw removed the bipolar from my record. I am stuck in between a slightly elevated and hypomanic mood, am always happy with some impulse control issue. That is my default mood. Regardless of circumstances. Head injuries are not to be messed with. I mean, if you're going to get a head injury, getting one that sticks you in a permanent good mood seems pretty cool. Hey, it's better than the alternative, being stuck in a depressive cycle forever. Or what's often common with head injuries, which is turning into a massive dick, impulsive and mean, and not being able to see that or regulate it at all. Ooh yeah, that's probably worse. One is worse for the person and one is worse for the person in the world. Stopped birth control then got pregnant. My real hormones are horny, apparently. Got an IUD after having a baby, slightly lower sex drive. Got it removed, sex drive through the roof again. I'm in between getting my IUD replaced and I forgot hormones were a thing for the last 3 years practically. I didn't realize how much it affected my hormones until it was gone. Just chiming in to recommend researching and taking to you doctor about a copper IUD. Copper IUDs don't use hormones to prevent pregnancy, and as a result they don't impact your mood or sex drive. Periods tend to be a bit more uncomfortable with one, but for you, my wife is quite happy with the trade-off herself. Copper IUDs are a great option for avoiding hormones. Heavier periods and worse cramps are common side effects. When you're on BC half for pregnancy prevention and have because of horribly heavy periods and vomit-inducing cramps. Not so much, smiley face. It's crazy how different women are affected by their periods. Some it's nothing, others it is crippling pain. Some women it's always the same and others it varies wildly month to month. Also, life pro tip guys with women in your life, invite them to leave feminine hygiene products in your bathroom. It takes up very little space, but it may lead your girlfriend say to you, "It makes me feel so much more comfortable about being over that I know that stuff is there. I don't have to think about it before I leave home or figure out how to go pick some up. It's weight off my mind." It means a lot to me. Also, put a trash can in the bathroom if you haven't already. With a lid. And line it with a bin bag. Who doesn't put a trash can in the bathroom? And keep a bin/trash can with a lid in your bathroom. Not having anywhere to dispose of used period products can be almost as awkward and nerve-wracking as having to change your period products at someone else's house. My GF stopped taking the pill about 3 months ago. We've been together 13 years and it's like we have to learn how to have sex all over again. Even just being romantic together is completely different. It's been amazing. And that's despite now having to use a condom most days. And she's been on the pill since her mid-teens, so she actually had no idea. She suddenly really likes things that she was indifferent to before. Even something as simple as kissing her neck. Even something as simple as teasing and foreplay/flirting during the day. She just never got any of that before. I'm fairly sure my GF is a pretty extreme case, but I really wonder how many other girls and women have no idea what their actual sex drive is like, or what their bodies really like and respond to in regards to sex and romance. Same thing happened to my wife. She'd been on birth control since middle school and stopped in her mid-20s. We've been together since college, and there was definitely some years where the sex drive was so low that it caused some arguments. After she got off birth control, her libido went through the roof. It's like we're back to being college kids, except we actually know what we're doing, lol. This is actually an extremely prevalent side effect. As in, the symptoms you describe affect pretty much all individuals who take it. Just to varying degrees. I guess the birth control works in more than one way, since less sex means less chance for baby. Not sure if it's a feature or a bug though. I have been on birth control pills for 10 years. Stopped couple months ago because we want to have kids. Never realized how much sex drive I actually had and how the pill could affect it. I just thought my low sex drive was due to age. Oh, I'm old, not a horny teenager anymore. I got a hormone IUD and I went from an insanely high sex drive to absolutely none at all. I got it removed almost a year ago and I'm just barely starting to get my drive back. It really, really sucks. especially since I got the IUD 2 weeks before my wedding. There's no point in birth control if you're not even going to have sex. It also effed my health up in other ways, but I'm not going to get into that. I just switched to a low-hormone IUD, Kyleena, and it's been awesome. Right now, my body is adjusting since I had a copper IUD for over 20 years. So my cramps suck, but it's only been 2 months I've had it. I had PMDD and my mental health is far better now. My sex drive also seems to be improving, but that could be placebo effect or a byproduct of feeling better overall. Maybe I should look into a vasectomy. My wife's been on birth control our whole marriage and it's been slow going. Average, I guess. I'd love to crank that switch up to high. All roughly around the same time, my youngest finally stopped waking me up at night, my husband got a vasectomy, switched antidepressants, and I lost weight. This is like a combo of every other answer, lol. If it's not too personal, would you mind sharing a bit about your switch in antidepressants? I'm currently taking sertraline and it has killed my sex drive and ability to orgasm. Sertraline helps my mood greatly, but damn, I miss a healthy sex life. I met and fell in love with someone who likes making me orgasm. I no longer feel like I'm not worth the extra effort. This right here. My ex was always focused on getting himself off and sex would end when he did. My current man makes sure I am taken care of before he finishes. A man that wants to make you feel good in all ways deserves you. Some of us fellas were raised with the ladies come first. Also, nice guys finish last. Actual nice guys. That was / is one of my favorite flirting jokes to say before I got my recently gained confidence, since the joke is open enough to interpretation that it doesn't feel like bragging, more just like saying I'll put in the work. I have to be careful about how / when I say it because of nice guys. I've usually stood by that, but my current partner gets too sensitive after she does. Usually now ends with me finishing, then making sure she finishes after. It's the most consistent way to make sure we both get off every time. Me, too. It's so weird. It's not absolutely always, but my body gets to the point where any more touching doesn't feel pleasant, not even my skin on my skin. There is nothing hotter than watching your girl come hard. Repeatedly. I know, right? Is it a power thing? An ego thing? I.e., I did that? Ego, for sure. Maybe power if user's moment is into that. But also it shows me I have at least some connection to that person. I hear women talk about bad sex, some of it really long bad sex. It doesn't matter if you have super endurance if you can't read what their body / mind needs in order to get off. And each woman is different. In my current and longest relationship, her needs have even changed over the years. It's like a pleasure puzzle, raunchy riddle? Conundrum? We'll find it, the real ego trip when they claim no one else has solved it, or the even rarer, they never solved it themselves. Erotic enigma. Oh yes, my boyfriend always has that smug face afterwards. When we're smoking, he's just looking at me, proudly smiling. Especially if I came more than once. My opinion as a guy is the purpose of being with a partner is to enjoy their pleasure. If it was just for my pleasure, my hand works just fine, or I could buy a fleshlight. I am probably in a minority with this view. Plus, if she really enjoys herself, she is much more likely to do it when I really want it. Yeah, the girl absolutely has to be enjoying it for me too, it's just awkward otherwise. I was with one girl a few times who just wasn't into it on this one occasion, and you could see it. Neither of us finished, it would have felt wrong to carry on. Sex with my wife is the best I've ever had, it's brilliant. Making her orgasm first works for me. Sometimes things go differently, so I always make sure she finishes as well. As a result, she tells me sex for her is the best she's ever had as well. This right here. You aren't alone. My ex was surprised when we talked and she realized that I was happier when she had an enjoyable time too. Me and my girlfriend both have that mindset, it can lead to some crazy nights. It's always better for me, too. Getting your partner off really gets you primed. Received therapy and counseling to heal from the sexual trauma I endured as a child. Seeking help was the best decision I ever made. I now have a rewarding sex life when I never thought that would be possible before. Thank you for sharing. As someone struggling with similar issues of my own, this gives me hope. Same, except that my childhood trauma wasn't sexual in nature. Healing my trauma and building a stronger sense of self through therapy and other lifestyle changes to care for myself are the things that made my libido awaken. Same. Thank you for watching. If you like our videos, please like them on YouTube and share them with your friends. Please subscribe to be the first to know about Red Rabbit Reader's new videos. We welcome your comments below. Another of our videos will begin shortly.